happening? What is happening? Welcome, everybody, to the Mixing Made Easy coaching call for July 2019. Let me get rid of this music. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July. If you are from the U.S., if you're not from the U.S., hey, happy weekend anyway. Hope you had a happy weekend as well. Before we get started, I want to just cover a couple of things and we'll jump over here into the chat. First and foremost, we have another, well, it's supposed to end tonight, but I'll probably extend it one more day. If you look beneath the screen here, beneath my video, you'll see that over at Home Recording Made Easy, we have running our yearly 4th of July 50% off sale. Coupon code July 4th 50 at checkout. Everything is 50% off. All the single title courses, not the training packs. So go take advantage of that now. It'll probably end sometime tomorrow evening. I'll probably let it go through tomorrow during the day. I'll probably send out one more email letting people know you have one last shot, and then everything goes back to regular price. So check that out. Okay, I'll leave it up on the screen for a couple more seconds. We'll see how many people we have here, and then we will, with 26 people. Okay, so we have a lot more people than we normally do for these coaching calls. Let me explain. Some of you may know. Some of you may not know. Let's jump over into the chat here and say hello to everybody. And I will get rid of this bright light on my face. Hopefully you guys can see me. You can hear me okay, right? I hope so. Let me just double check OBS here. Can you hear me okay? Okay, yeah. Okay, good. You never know sometimes. Okay, so tonight, right before, maybe a couple hours before I was going to get ready to come on here, I decided that I thought it would be a good idea for the holiday weekend and just for other reasons to allow this coaching call to be open to the public. So typically, if you already know, if you're a member of our wonderful family here at Mixing Made Easy, that this is a private call. It's not out to the public. Nobody knows about it. Only the members show up. But this month, I wanted to open it up to the public to let other people that are not maybe mixingmadeeasy.net members kind of get a feel for what we do here every month. We'll do our mix critiques. We'll do our question and answer session, so on and so forth. And then hopefully maybe they'll be here in the chat and they'll go ahead and maybe you guys that are our members can kind of, let people know how you think or what you think of mixingmadeeasy.net. And maybe those members will want to go check it out, maybe try it out, who knows. So I want to give everybody kind of a free taste of what the coaching call is like. So that's why we have a lot more people here than we typically do. Let's see who's going on here in the chat here. Let's see here. Whoops, we got to get rid of this here. Someone's email address is in. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So let's see who's in the chat. So we got a lot of people here, and then we're going to jump into Studio One, and we're going to listen to some mixes. So for folks that are not usually here for our coaching call, what we typically do is I'll take some questions in the chat, and then we jump on over to Studio One, and every month we have a mixing contest, and we give away a plugin every single month to a new member. Everyone mixes a song for last month, which was June, and they submit their mix by the 25th of June, and then in the July coaching call, which is today, I listen to all the mixes, and then I pick a winner, and then I hand select every month maybe 5 or 6 different mixes, and I bring them up on the screen, and we listen to them together, and I kind of critique them and try to help give some pointers or some feedback on particular members' mixes. Even if they didn't win the mixing contest, then we announce the mixing contest, and then we give away a plugin. This month's free plugin is a brand new plugin by the company Audified called the Drum Spot Pro. I have a video coming out on the Home Recording Made Easy YouTube channel on Tuesday. I did a full review on it. Someone's going to get that plugin tonight. It just hit the market. It's very cool. All-in-one drum plugin, and someone's going to win that tonight. So that's kind of what we do here. And then after the mix critiques, I do kind of a Q&A, and we kind of hang out a bit, and then we end the coaching call for the month. So that's what we do. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, you could certainly ask. Let's go back up here to top, see who's here. Randall's here. Randall, what's up, buddy? Raymond, how are you? Bobby Booth is here. Bob, what's up? Alfred's here. Hey, Alfred, what's going on? Steve is here. Blake is here. Scotty's here. Bob is here. Doug is here. How is everybody doing? Alberto is here. David S.J., my friend, is here. James is here. Hey, James, what's up, buddy? Milkman Blues is here. What's up, my friend? How are you? I think I said Bob. If not, Bob is here. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay, that's everybody. So we have about 29 people here. This is great. So once again, if you're not a member of mixingmadeeasy.net, head on over there. After this video or anytime during the course of this, you can always pop open a new window. Go check it out. Nice big video on the homepage. I explain everything that you get as part of your membership. You can scroll below the video. You can see what kind of membership packages there are. I encourage everyone to try it out. If you don't like it, cancel it at any time. Okay, just shoot me an email, cancel the membership, no problem. But I would think for a lot of the folks that are here for the coaching call that have been now here going on 7 months since we've started, they could probably chime in and let you know what they think about mixingmadeeasy.net and whether they think it's worth their monthly membership, which by the way is less than 50 cents a day. So let's see. Anyone have any quick questions before we jump into Studio One? We could do that. And for any of you guys that are new here that have never seen the coaching call before, if you're not a member, if you find this video helpful, if you find this training helpful, feel free to hit the super chat. Have to say that. Okay, Woodbeast is here. What's up? How's it going? Let's see. Randall says, yeah, I've been with David for a few years now. Awesome educator indeed. Hey, Randall, thank you, brother. Thank you very, very much. James says, in the current mix, when I applied the limiter on the tubas, everything went to hell with the bass, cymbals, congas, snares becoming enormously louder, and everything else. No idea why. James, what I did, we're going to listen to your mix tonight. I haven't pulled up your mix yet, so I'm going to listen to yours. And yeah, you had a lot of low end stuff going on there. I wanted to talk a little through that when we get to it. I thought your mix was pretty good, but we had, but maybe that explains some of what I'm hearing. So we'll take a listen to that in a few minutes. Let's see. Any other questions that we have here? Hey, Woodbeast, what's going on, my friend? And okay, so if there's no other questions, what we're going to do in the effort of kind of keeping this video short, we got 33 people rock and roll. So I'm going to pull up Studio One here and I'm going to switch my windows and you guys should see Studio One and me in 1 second. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to some mixes. So as I said, every month we have a mixing contest and we have anywhere from 120 to 200, literally, mixes show up in my email box throughout the course of the month that I go through and listen to every single one. And during the process of elimination, I try to whittle it down to who I think has the best mix for that particular month. And then we give them a free plugin as part of the mixing contest, part of the winning prize. And then in that process, I pick out 4 or 5 random. You know, I try not to do the same members every month. I try to get different members every month and we listen to the mixes together. And I kind of just, you know, again, try to provide a little bit of feedback. The members really seem to like that. It's helped them. It creates some cool dialogue. And hey, we get to give away free stuff. So that's always great too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my cans on. Now, if you have any questions, you guys can hold it for a bit. We'll do a Q&A after the fact if you'd like. And we'll listen to everybody's question. I'll try to answer anything I can. Let me turn on my headphones a little here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Okay, Mike is here from Peace Valley Audio. Hey, Mike, brother, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're having a good weekend. All right. Woodby says, oh my, 200. Yep, sometimes there's 200 mixes. But it's great, man. I like it. I love it. Yeah, it's okay. It takes time. That's why I say please get it to me by the 25th, because it literally takes me several days to listen through all of them and whittle it down. I don't do it all in one sitting. I can't. My ears get too fatigued. But yeah, we get a lot of mixes, which is awesome. And the mixes are getting so much better. Okay. So what you should see on the screen here is we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We picked out 5 this month and we're going to start with, no particular order here. We're going to start off with James's mix, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Whoops. Get all my colors the same here. Okay. So this is James's mix. James has been a member with us from the beginning. Really great mix engineer. And we're going to listen to, okay, now the song this month, for people who don't know, for last month was a country tune by the artist Ben Parker. And the name of the song is You Won't Be Staying This Time. You Won't Be Staying This Time, I think is the track. So we're going to take a quick listen and we're going to see what we hear. So here we go. Here's James's mix. Let me know in the chat if everything in Studio One is sounding rocking and rolling when I kind of turn it on here. Okay, and welcome to all the new members or all the people that are not members that are here just kind of checking it out. Here we go. Here's James's mix, or a part of his mix.
Girl, just to look at you, sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember the time we stayed up and talked on the phone all night?
Okay, thus far sounds really good, James. The only thing that I notice here, and again, I listen to this on a couple of different systems, just so people know. I'm listening to them on my headphones now, obviously, but I listen to them on studio monitors as well. This mix sounded, it sounded really hi-fi to me, which I loved. And I can tell, at least I think you replaced all the drums with samples, or at least some of them, which sound great. The only thing that I feel like there's a lot of low end in this mix. And again, you mentioned somewhere up there in the chat, you were doing some stuff and you thought everything went to hell. I don't think it went to hell. I think you got a pretty good mix here. I just think there's a little bit too much bottom end. So let's see if we could shape some of that with this EQ just to see what we could come up with.
A tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place. Even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
So I think everything sounds, I love the guitar solo. I think you got it at the right levels. The background vocals might be a little loud for me, but I'm being picky, James, because you know I have to be when mixes are good. I got to be picky. I just think there's a little bit too much low end for this particular style of music. I think the kick comes through a little bit too much. I tend to like the kick coming through a lot, as you probably know from my mixes. But on this song, I think it needs to be a little bit more in the back, I think. Now, again, it could be some of the things you were doing with the compressors and some of the things you mentioned early. You might have been just going for something else creatively and things got out of hand for you. But I think overall it sounds pretty good, but the low end's a little too much. The other thing is I'd like to know, I think you replaced all the drums with samples. It sounds like you did. And they sound great, by the way. I don't know if you did or not, but I remember, again, I mixed this myself about 3 months ago, so I'm going from memory. I remember the drums being recorded well to begin with, but it sounds like you might have enhanced things quite a bit. And I think you did a really good job. I think with this cut here at around 95 Hertz, and again, I'm just tweaking this thing quickly, as you can tell, I think it balances things a little bit more and that low end doesn't get in your face too much.
Time flies by.
Let's listen to the last chorus here.
Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times.
So it's getting rid of all that.
You won't be staying. You won't be staying. You won't be staying this time. Call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
Other than that, I think it sounds really good. Again, I don't know. I don't remember, James. I'm sure you've told me your setup at home. I don't know if you're mixing through monitors or headphones. I don't really know your environment. I don't know if that low end just doesn't come through, translates in your environment, and maybe that's why you get a little bit too much low end in there. I'm not really sure. But that would be my suggestion would be on this. It's just a little too much low end. It kind of muddies things up a little bit. Outside of that, I think the mix sounds really good. I think you did a good job. And you consistently do a good job. And I know you take chances. And again, and one thing that James, people may or may not know, is because he emails me a lot, which is great. I love it. Is that he takes lots of chances and he gets really creative with things. And I think he posts some of those things in the user community as well. I've seen some of those posts. And for people that are new, that are not members, that this is your first time here, we also have a user community where members can post their mixes throughout the month and get mixed feedback from other members, and including myself. I try to poke in there as much as I can, but I'm really busy. But they're pretty active with each other and they try to help each other out. And a lot of folks, James included, will post 2 or 3 versions of their mix throughout the course of the month and get some feedback. And I know James also shares with the members some of the things that he does with the song. And the one thing that James does a lot of, and I encourage this, if other members aren't doing this, you should on some level, is that he's trying to push himself out of his comfort zone, and he's doing a lot of experimenting to see what works and what doesn't work. And so, like he kind of mentioned in the chat, he'll do things with, he'll do some different things, and then some things work and some things all goes to hell, his words. And so I think that's great, because you have to, the only way you kind of learn how some of this stuff works is to tweak it and dial it and overdo it. And then over time you find what works and doesn't work, and you can eventually hone in on your craft. So taking chances is a good thing, especially in an environment like Mixing Made Easy. Even though you're submitting to a mixing contest, taking chances is great. And this is the place to take the chance. The place to take the chance isn't when you're mixing a client song, unless they give you that liberty, right? You want to deliver you want to deliver the home run every single time, your best work. But in our environment, with our community, it's okay to not have your best work come out because you're trying something different. That's great, especially when you're mixing different styles of music every month and you're mixing a style of music that maybe you're not comfortable with or too familiar with. So hopefully everybody, kind of takes note of that. And again, I encourage our members to take chances, try different things. And James could probably, tell you some of the things he's done on past mixes. He does it every single month. But overall, James, good mix, a little too much low end. But I mean, other than that, I think it sounds great. You did a good job. And again, I appreciate you taking chances, man. Okay, so that's James's mix. We're going to go over to Wayne's mix. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to say, because I'm seeing Wayne's name. Wayne, how are you? I want to make sure two things. These are for our members now. Every month, a couple of days before this coaching call, I'll send out an email, and then usually an hour before, I'll send out an email. And there are a member here and there, Wayne was one of them, who said he's not getting that particular email. We're trying to together figure out why he's getting some of my emails, but not all of my emails. And I'm not sure if it's on his end with his email system or my end. I'm not really sure. We're trying to figure it out. But one thing I did notice for Wayne and for anyone else, that if you're having every now and again, you don't get one of my emails, in those emails, especially when I have links to like the coaching call, with the button with the link, some email servers, I don't know if it's Yahoo or Google or whoever, depending on what your email, platform that you use is, sometimes if there's links or images with links attached to them, sometimes they'll spam those particular emails, even if they're coming from the same email address, where I may send you an email with no links, if that makes sense. So check that, because I will always have a link to the coaching call, and maybe that's why, Wayne, it's somehow diverting. Either it's not getting to you, or it's getting dumped in a box. And I don't know if anyone else is having those problems, but I figured I'd mention it because I want to make sure when I send you guys emails, you don't miss, the coaching call because you didn't get my email. Okay. So we'll check that out and we'll further investigate that, but I want to make sure that I mention that. Last thing, and then we'll listen to Wayne's mix here, is that a lot of you, almost all of you that are members of Mixing Made Easy, or also have an account at homerecordingmadeeasy.com where you bought all the training courses from me in the past. I need to know if you're not getting emails from just Mixing Made Easy, or you're not getting emails from Home Recording Made Easy, or both. So keep that in mind too. Emails are coming from both places if you are a member of both. And we'll try to just keep that in mind. Keep an eye on your spam box and we'll figure it out. But Wayne's here tonight, right? I think he's here somewhere. Yeah, he's up here somewhere. We got him this time. Last month he missed because he missed the email. Okay, let's listen to Wayne and let's see what he did here with Ken Parker's tune. Here we go.
Just to look at you, sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember the time we stayed up and talked on the phone all night? I wanna get back to those days when you have to move away. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. Ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is
Okay, again, sounds really good. Again, just like with the last mix, not as much though. Around this 150 mark, it seems like that bass, especially in the verses, it seems like it's a little heavy. Let's go back to a verse.
Stayed up and talked on the phone all night. I wanna get back to those days. Why'd you have to move away? Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while.
So right around that 150 mark, bass guitar, little cloudy there, and then a little bit of mid-range again, not much, just a few dB around that 500 mark. It kind of clears up the vocal a little, I feel like.
You should call sometime, maybe come over tonight. Ride in my car, be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time. Tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place.
After.
Even when the times are tough.
Okay, so can you guys hear that? I'll bypass it just if you're, I know you keep seeing the graphic on the EQ, but in the top left-hand corner, when I light this little bypass button up amber, for people that are not Studio One users, this is bypassed, this is engaged. So again, I'm gonna play back that verse a little just to see if we can hear that. We have a little bit of a mask on the vocal, I feel like, and again, a little bit too much of that bottom end. And when we take that EQ and we kind of put these two little cuts in, and again, they're not very big cuts, it seems to give the whole mix a little bit more clarity to my ear.
Ride in my car, be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time. Tear runs down my face.
And we're gonna bring it in now.
Emotions fill this lonely place. Even when the times are tough.
Okay, so it's subtle, right? It's a subtle thing because the mix is pretty solid. So Wayne, good job on this mix overall. Again, it's just a little bit too boomy and a little bit of a mid-range thing there. And again, my listening environment, your listening environment could be a little bit different, and that could be the difference. But it seems like that bass just pumps through a little too much around that 150, 160 mark. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. It's a good mix. And you're another one who, consistently delivers really clean. And I think you won one of the mixing contests a few months back. Solid mixes usually every month. So great job, man. Great job. Now we're going to listen to Klaus's mix. Everyone still with me? How many people are still here? Everyone bail out that are not a member? Nah, we got 40 people here. How about that? You guys stuck around. Look at that. I thought all the non-members guys would just bail out after 5 minutes of this, but hey, this is somewhat educational, I hope, right? Okay. All right, Klaus, another one, sends in a mix every single month. Let's see what he's got this month. Consistently, he does a good job as well. Klaus, I don't know if you're here. If you're here, welcome. If you're not here, you'll be watching this on the replay. That'll be on the website tomorrow for people who don't know. Okay, here we go. Klaus.
Girl, just to look at you, sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember the time we stayed up and talked on the phone all night? I wanna get back to those days. Why'd you have to move away? Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old time.
Okay, not bad, Klaus. So we got a couple of things going on here. Again, a little bit of bottom end, a little too much bottom end again, seems to be the theme this month. A little bit too much low end there. And again, it's not much, but it's just my pickiness. Mid-range there is very cloudy, I think, in this one. Around 400 and something hertz, 74 hertz. And we need a little more top end. Now, the other thing, keep in mind, I'll just make sure everyone knows this, but it's worth saying, I mean, we're doing this on a stereo mix, right? So we can't go in and individually touch all the tracks. It sounds to me like this mix, which is not like your previous mixes. Your previous mixes seemed a lot more connected. This seems a little bit more disjointed to me. It seems like and sounds like to me on first listen that something's way over compressed. And I feel like maybe, I don't know again how this comes across on YouTube, guys. I always have to say that because I don't know what the hell YouTube does to this thing live. But I feel like I feel like I feel a real heavy breathing and pumping on this.
Only difference is
Almost like if you maybe, Klaus, I don't know if you're here. If you're here, please chime in and let us know. On the master bus, on your 2 bus, did you overcompress something by accident? Did you use a tape machine where you slam in the tape machine? Did you do anything on that master bus that is just clipping and it's just squashing everything to death?
you won't be staying this time. A tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place. And even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car.
Okay, so it sounds to me like we got something way over compressed, and I'd be interested to know what that is. And this is a great example, if I'm right. Again, I could be wrong about this, but if I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing, is when you overdo it on compression. And I know Klaus too, from the member community, from the forums, that this, he's relatively new to mixing. And a lot of the mixes that we've heard up to this point, for someone who's just beginning, pretty darn impressive. Now, he could have been taking some chances here, like James does, and he may have just going out on a limb and trying some new things. And when you are new to using compression, and this song has about 20 some odd tracks in it, if you're compressing a lot on all these individual tracks, the cumulative effect of that is really going to get overly compressed, which is what I think I'm hearing, and that will in turn create all kinds of EQ problems, right? Because you're squishing frequencies and you're expanding the low, you're bringing up the bottom and squishing down the top, and you're gonna have all kinds of frequency problems. And that's one of the reasons why the mids and the upper mids sound kind of harsh. It could just be an overcompressed thing. Something is going on here with the plugins that's different than what Klaus normally turns out. So I'd be interested to hear. Klaus, I don't know if you're around. You may not. Oh, you are. You are here. Are you here? You are here. Okay, so maybe you can let us know if you remember what you kind of did. But that's what I kind of hear. I hear things overcompressed. I hear things a little disjointed and a little disconnected. And I'd be interested to know what you kind of did this month. Like, what did you do? What was your approach? And so a simple EQ is not really going to fix much here. It's going to clean it up a little bit, but I think we would need to go back and examine each one of our tracks and figure out, what are we doing that's creating that cumulative effect to give things that kind of out of balance feel to it. So let us know, man. I know you're here. If you don't have time to do it tonight or you're not sure, shoot us an email or post it up in the user forum tomorrow or the next day. Take a look at this and see if you find anything that might have been causing the problem. The other thing too, and I don't hear that in this, but sometimes I'll have to make sure when you also send me your mixes in MP3 format that you're sending something above 128 bit. You're sending something, like 256, 320. Because sometimes when you send low res files, that can jarble things up and make things sound a little weird and phasey and stuff too. I hear a little bit of that here too, but my guess is it's not that. My guess is it's more something in the mix. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you kind of did there. Okay, now we're going to listen to Steve's mix. Bassett, if I'm saying that right. I can't see the print. It's so damn small. I think Steve might be around. Steve, you around? If you're around, hey man. If you're not, I'll follow up with you in the forum. So let's listen to Steve's mix and see what we have going on here. Now I'm going to see already we're going to have, okay, I raised the clip gain because it looks like it's pretty low recorded.
Girl, just to look at you and sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember stayed up and talked on the phone all night. I wanna get back to those days. Why'd you have to move away? Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time. Tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place. And even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car.
Okay, so on this mix, the thing that I hear the most that could be problematic is this 500 hertz range. It's a little bit too masky. It's a little too honky. It's a little bit too much mids in here, which clouds everything up. As soon as we make this cut, what's it, 2.5 dB or so, you can hear it start to get a little bit more clarity. Now, what I like about this mix is that there isn't that overly powering low end. It almost sounds like the low end is kind of where it should sit. Although the snare to me sounds like it's way over compressed. And it seems like the snare is disconnected from the rest of the drum kit in the way the elements are all kind of balanced together. It cuts, but it doesn't sound like it almost sounds like you have the drum kit all kind of moving together, and then you got the snare drum, which is kind of, bouncing all over the place. So sorry guys if you heard that little ding, it's my phone.
Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
So it's all that we got to get rid of.
When I'm with you,
And it makes a big difference, especially in the chorus.
love, baby, I miss you.
Before.
Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times.
Okay, so it's that mid-range thing, Steve, and also too the snare drum. I can hear the snare, but I have a hard time hearing the rest of the drum kit. It's just the snare is what I hear. The kick, maybe a little bit more on the kick, and it just sounds like the drum kit overall is a little too muddy. And again, it's a little too disconnected from the snare. Again, that could be a compression thing, or a little overly compressed, or just maybe a kind of a balance thing. Also, I don't hear much panning in the toms. Maybe everything's right up the middle. I don't know if you have things kind of separated, from left to right. In the individual tracks, it's something else to look at. I don't know if you're here. If you are, let us know. If you're watching this on the replay, hit me up with an email. Let us know in the community, in the forum. We'd be interested to hear that. But overall, not bad. Again, it's a little bit too much mids in this one for me. But overall, not bad. Couple of tweaks, and I think you got a really good mix here. I really do. Okay, let's get down to another one. Here we got Ray's mix. I know Ray's floating around here. I thought I saw his name. Ray, if you're here, how are you, bro? I think I heard you. Let's listen to Ray. See what Ray's got going on.
Girl, just to look at you, and sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember the time we stayed up and talked on the phone all night? I wanna get back to those days. Why'd you have to move away? Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
Nice job on the low end on this. One of the better ones I've heard on the low end. It sounds like it's balanced. Again, I think we have a little bit too much mids here. Let's listen a little further.
A tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place. And even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love.
And the lead vocal can use a little de-essing, maybe some manually de-essing. I don't know that you need to throw a de-esser on there, but there's a few spots where I think it kind of pokes out a little.
Times are tough, even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight.
And on those background vocals too, it sounds like to me it sounds like you might have gotten a little too much top end EQ there. I hear a lot of in the background vocals, which usually means somewhere between that 7 and 10K mark. You might have boosted up things a little much to get some clarity. So again, without seeing it, I won't know, but one of the things you can do before you boost top end EQ, cut mids, which we did here overall, but you may want to cut mids a little bit on the vocals to kind of open that up. The other thing you can do is if you still feel like you need that clarity, not sure what kind of EQ you're using on those vocals, especially female vocals, try using something like a Pultec if you have one, or something tube-based that's going to smooth off the top end and not get very and bitey. So when you use stock EQs and certain EQs, you boost the top end, it gets very harsh. You want things that are smooth. Not sure, Ray, on the plug-in package and stuff that you have. If you have something that's Pultec related, that's a really good option. If you have Slate Digital stuff, the FGA, the API EQ has a really smooth top end, whereas some other ones, and even like an SSL EQ tends to have a smooth top end, whereas something like a Neve, where it can be really bitey very quick on the top end, you got to be careful with that, and stock EQs especially. Just some points of things to think about.
We'll ride in my car, be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
And the guitar solo can be louder. And the cymbal crashes, whenever I hear those cymbal crashes, they get very harsh. And again, I don't know if you're over compressing the overheads, but just again, thinking, or did you boost the top end of those overheads?
Time flies by when I'm with you.
But other than that, it's a pretty solid mix. So a couple, again, minor tweaks, a little bit too much mids. I like the low end. You did a nice job on the low end on this mix. The vocals sound pretty good. The background vocals and a couple of spots on the lead vocal, a little bit of S's, a little bit of on the female vocal. Be careful of that. And then also on the overhead cymbals, it sounds like they're a little harsh to me. And again, that could be just because maybe we EQ'd them a little too much, or maybe they're a little over compressed. They don't sound like they're too loud in the mix. They just sound like just when he hits the cymbals, things just jump out and get really in your face. The rest of the overhead track prior to the cymbal crashes sound fine, balance-wise, at least to my ear. So those are a few, again, minor stuff, nothing major. Overall, pretty good mix, but that's what, things that I would ask you about and see how you handled that. So, again, I think you're floating around here somewhere. Okay, let's see. Now we're on the last one here. We're going to we're going to listen to Andrew Levin. Or Lavin, depending on how you pronounce it. Andrew, don't know if you're around. If you are, hey, welcome, brother. If you're not, hey, see you in the replay. We still got 40. Oh, we got 42 people here. How about that? All right, man. So here we go. Let's listen to Andrew's mix.
Girl, just to look at you, sitting there in that dress. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm sorry I look a mess. Do you remember the time we stayed up and talked on the phone all night? face when you have to move away.
Okay, what I really like about this mix, before we get to the climax of the chorus, I love the low end here. It's the right, to me, it's the right amount of low ends, where all the other mixes either just a little too shy or just a little bit too much. This seems like the low end on this mix seems like it sits right where it's supposed to. Great job. It also has a very hi-fi quality to the sound. So I don't know what the hell you did, but whatever combination of plugins you used and what your mixing techniques, you seem to manage to get this thing to sound like it has more spit polish on the mix. Where the other ones sound all the other mixes sound a little bit more organic, a little bit more raw, but I don't mean raw in a bad way. I just mean it doesn't have that finished sound to it like this does.
Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time. A tear runs down my face. Emotions fill this lonely place. Even when the times are tough, I'm not giving up on our love. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying this time.
I wish the guitar solo was a little louder, personally, but the other thing I hear in this mix that I didn't hear as well in the other mixes, I really hear the acoustic guitar as well. It's got a lot of clarity, got a lot of a bell ring to it, which I heard in all the mixes, but not as well defined as this mix.
Time flies by when I'm with you. Love
Tom feels perfect. Sounds good.
fills my heart when I kiss you. Baby, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car. Be just like old times. Only difference is you won't be staying. You won't be staying. You won't be staying this time.
To me, that's the winning mix this month. The only thing that I'm not sure about, and I go back and forth as I'm listening to this, is when the chorus kicks in with all those female vocals in the background. Are the vocals too much in your face? And that's completely personal preference. I mean, hell, it's the vocal. It should be in your face, yeah? So when I listen to it, sometimes I feel like maybe those vocals are a little bit too at me compared to the music. But again, that's personal preference. It also is to, how long you've been listening to the mix, the environment that I'm listening, whether it's headphones or monitors. But I mean, it's subtle. And again, I'm being really picky. And so if I had to give you 1 point of something to think about, maybe if you haven't listened to this mix since you've submitted it with a fresh set of ears, listen to it in your studio. Do those vocals sound like they're a little bit too aggressive? I don't know. Maybe not.
I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. You should call sometime. Maybe come over tonight. We'll ride in my car.
Now as I say that, now I'm going, no, it sounds right. So, again, you go back and forth. A lot of this stuff is, it's personal preference and it's minor stuff. But to me, that is the best mix this month. They were all good. Again, I listened to almost 200 of them. Everyone's mix we listened to tonight, great mixes with everybody. Again, when we go for the folks that are not members, that are kind of, sitting in on our coaching call, my goal is to try to go through this and to try to pick it apart a little bit. If I can, so I can give, and again, it doesn't mean just take everything I say, go back and make all the changes that I said. It's just for you to walk away with the information, listen to the mix yourself again, if you have time at one point, and then say, okay, what if I tried this? What if I tried that? And some of the stuff some of that advice you may take and you may feel it improves your mix. And some of it you may say, no, I like the way it is. Mixing is very subjective, right? In that once you have a decent mix, the difference between a good mix and a great mix is subjective, right? And so it's really, as they say, beauty's in the ear of the beholder, that, what I might like in a mix when we talk about these little nuances and what one of you may like could be totally different. And that's totally fine. My job is to try to be objective and not, and try to just give you things to think about. And so when I'm listening to these mixes and when we're going through this exercise, it's not to say any of the mixes are not good, because they're all good. There's different degrees of good, right? And trying to separate the ones that kind of slightly go ahead this month compared to last month. So hopefully that makes sense, everybody. And this is what we do every single month as we go and we try to do this, because our members seem to think and have told me early on that, hey, they like this kind of feedback. Because the more we criticize constructively, and we do this in the forum, in our user forum as well, then that just helps us all get better, right? There's everything is always done in a very constructive criticism way, in a very loving way. It's not to demean anyone, nor is it to say you're not doing something right, or it's all about learning. And so even when I read the comments, when members post their mix in the forum every month, and sometimes I go in and I read, and I don't post for a reason. I just want to see how people are interacting with each other. The community is fantastic, and the encouragement is very good. But they're also very honest with each other, which I like. It's not all just, hey, every mix sounds great, everything's wonderful, because then, you don't learn anything that way. And not everyone's opinion matters. And so a lot of times what our members will do is they'll post a mix, they'll get some feedback, they'll go tweak it, they'll come back 2 days later, post their second revision, their third revision, and they kind of work their way up to where they feel like they got their final mix for the mixing contest. And so I think that's one of the real main benefits to the whole membership package, is not just getting the videos every month and getting the audio files, right? Because you can get that anywhere, right? It's all the constructive feedback that you get, not only from me and the interaction that you get with me, but then from the community in large. And that really helps these guys all get better. And I can tell you with complete honesty here that, and I said this to these guys a couple of months ago, I can hear the improvements in the mixes. It is becoming much more challenging for me to find a winner every month in these mixing contests. Some of these things are very, we're talking about, small subtleties between who's going to win that month and who's not going to win that month, right? And so that's great. That's great. And it allows these guys to go out and take chances and to make a mess out of things and then pull it all apart and redo it again. And that's the beauty of this whole thing that we're continuing to build here. So Andrew, congratulations. Golf clap. If you're not, I hope you're here. If you're not, that's okay. Hit me up when you watch this on the replay. Hit me up with an email. I will send you the license to the Audified Drum Spot Pro. Brand new plugin, just hit the market, I think within a week or so ago. I just did a review for it. It's coming out on Tuesday of this week on the YouTube channel, Home Recording Made Easy. But you can figure out how to use it without looking at the YouTube video. But if you want to see my review on it, it's an awesome plugin. So congratulations, man. I hope everyone, especially the folks, we'll go back to our chat here now, especially the folks who are here that are not members, that you hung out and you saw that. I hope you found that beneficial to you as well. And you kind of now get to see of what we're kind of doing every month and the kind of music that we're mixing. So that obviously was a country tune. We're going to be mixing something completely different next month. And every month we try to do something completely different. And so, hey, if you haven't done so already, go over to mixingmadeeasy.net and check it out. Try it out. See if you like it. I think you will. And so, okay, I'll do a little Q&A here for a bit. We still got 42 people here. which is cool. And so if you have any questions, hit me up, and I'd love to try to answer anything that I can. Okay, I can scroll up a little bit and see if there's anything there. Let's see. Any questions at all? Let's see. Treva says a DAW is a DAW, are they not? Yeah, meaning, oh, there must be a conversation going on as far as different DAWs, and is there any real differences? If that's your question, there's, they all have their different subtleties, but they all do the same thing, more or less. Is one DAW better than another? That's completely subjective, and the answer is no. Whatever you're using, whatever you're comfortable with, that's the one you should be working on. They all sound the same to me, although there are people that'll say one sounds better than another, and I've done that test myself with Logic, Pro Tools, Studio One, and Cubase, and I can't hear the difference. So if there is a difference that someone else has heard, then got better ears than I do. I don't think they sound any different. It's how you use it and what workflow you like. James says the Drum Spot Pro is a pretty good. He likes it. Oh, cool. You have it, James? Yeah, it's a good plugin. Nice, quick way to dial in some really cool drum sounds without having to get too technical and such. It's a nice kind of an all-in-one plugin. I really like it. They did a nice job with it. Their whole Tone Spot series, and I've done like 3 or 4 reviews now. They've done the Tone Spot of bass, Tone Spot acoustic guitar, and Tone Spot drum. And all of those sound great. They all sound great. I think they did a really nice job with those plugins, and they're very affordable too. Let's see. Someone congratulating Andrew. Thanks for doing these, David. Oh, no problem at all, man. Congratulations, Andrew. Yes. Travis says he does not hear a difference either. Yeah, there is no difference in the DAW sound. Don't listen to anyone that tells you that there is. Well, unless you can hear it for yourself. There's always that battle on which DAW is better. The majority of people that I think that are mixing made easier are probably Studio One users, although James is a Logic user. And I'm a Studio One user, but I've used them all. They're all good. Whatever you're comfortable, man, whatever you're using is fine. Some of the workflows are a little different, as I think someone mentioned, might have been Blake a few minutes ago. There may be some subtle differences in the way things work, but for the most part, they all do the same thing. They really, really do. If something is working on your system and is stable and you like it and you're comfortable with it, that's the one you go with. Don't switch DAWs thinking you're going to get better recordings, better productions, better mixes, better masters, because you're not. It's not the DAW that's the problem, if there is a problem. So, James says, sometimes the Tone Spot works for me and sometimes not. I try them when your usual methods aren't working. Yeah, they don't work for everything, right? I mean, these all-in-one plugins are great because they make things quick and easy. And what I found, James, and I'm sure you would probably agree, when the tracks are recorded really well, they tend to work a hell of a lot better. When you have kind of spotty recorded tracks, it's hard to make things sound good with them. The thing I love about them is they're quick and easy, and without a whole lot of thinking, you can get something that normally sounds pretty darn good. The thing I don't like about those kinds of plugins, especially with someone who are beginners, it forces you to not really have to learn much about EQ and compression and some of the inner workings and how they work. And although it's a quicker way to get things done up front, I think in the long run, it hurts you as an engineer. That compression, especially, and EQ, knowing it, using a regular EQ and a regular compressor and not relying on stuff being done under the hood in preset mode for some of these all-in-one plugins, I think is a better way to try to learn this craft in the long run. But having said that, once you know those kinds of things and you're just looking to dial something in quickly, or if you're just looking to do something to get a different sound, all these plugins sound a little bit different. And so, depending on the program material that you're using it on, it could be very helpful. And again, it gives you another color on your palette of colors, if you will. So, but I hear what you're saying. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Depends on what you're doing. Let's see. Blake says, hey Blake, what's up, bud? How would you compare the Drum Spot to the Superior Drummer and or Slate drums? Well, the Drum Spot is not a VST in that it's like a drum replacement program, like say Easy Drum or Superior Drum or Slate Drums. It is basically an all-in-one, and there's a video coming out on Tuesday, you can check it out, but it's basically an all-in-one that has a compressor and EQ. It's like a big channel strip, saturation, and some other, nifty things in there with some different voicings, whether you want a vintage sounding drum kit, modern sounding, or a natural sounding drum kit. And it's not really a VST replacement. Okay. So it's not intended to do that. It's really just like a big channel strip. It's really what it is. So they're two totally different animals. Oh, and James just said that. Okay. I didn't have to waste my breath. I could have just read what James said. James is absolutely right. Let's see. Randall says, David, thanks for the Rock of Ages tracks. That was a fun song to mix. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. So again, for folks that are not Mixing Made Easy members here, we still got 38 people here. What we did was for the live mixing series, volume 2, which was Rock of Ages by Def Leppard, that I did over at Home Recording Made Easy on this very YouTube channel. Anyone that was a mixingmadeeasy.net member got that course for free, which was, 6 videos or whatever it was, all the audio files, $50 course, absolutely free just for being a member. I try to do those things 2 or 3 times a year to try to help out the members. And just, again, it's my appreciation saying thank you for paying every month and being a member of Mixing Made Easy. And so wherever I can, on top of all the stuff that I try to give you as part of the membership, if I can, increase that value for you a little more, I try to do that. So you're welcome. And I'm glad that you had fun. It was fun. And so, yeah, if you were a member of Mixing Made Easy, you would have gotten that for free. Milkman Blues, what is the best way to route audio from the effects bus and parallel compression bus to the instrument or bus or the main? I have seen you do it both ways. Let me read that again. Just make sure I understand what you're asking me. What is the best way to route audio from the effects bus and the parallel bus to the instrument bus or to the main? Normally, if I'm understanding you correctly, if we have let's say guitar track going to a guitar bus, and then the guitar track is also going to a parallel guitar bus, right? So it's going in 2 different places. If you're talking about the effects, like let's say a reverb, that would be routed to the bus. It would be routed to the bus. And sometimes I'll also route it as a send, which is the same thing, but just make sure I'm understanding the terminology. I'll also send it to the parallel track sometimes, not all the time. When do I do it? It depends on how the track sounds. So in other words, if I have a reverb track for guitars and I'm sending the guitar track to that reverb, I may also then send that reverb to the parallel track. The output of that track is going to the guitar bus, but I might also send it to the parallel track. And again, it all depends how it sounds. You've probably seen me do it both ways in certain different courses that I've put out, because I may change things up in the way I show you things from one course to the next. But it really depends how it sounds. I will tell you that more times than not, I do not send a reverb, for example, to a parallel track. That's only in extreme circumstances where I may do that, where something isn't gelling right and I feel like I need to do it. Most times I'm just routing that effects channel to the appropriate bus, and then the bus is being routed to the main output, if that makes sense. I don't think I typically will never route an effects like a reverb to the main outs and bypass the bus. If you saw me do that in a teaching class, I might have done that even by mistake. Sometimes when I'm doing, and if for people that are not members of Mixing Made Easy or any of my training courses, sometimes when I'm in the midst of trying to teach all the little details of what I'm doing and talking about the vision of what I'm thinking of and just talking to you and trying to teach, sometimes these little details in the middle of a training course, I might overlook and say, oh, I didn't route that the way I should have routed that. Again, it doesn't make a real big impact on the overall mix. In the end, there might be a little subtlety here and there because there are little details, and I'm doing all of these in real time, right? They're not pre-mixed. So I'm doing everything in real time on the fly, and I'm trying to juggle a lot of balls in the air at the same time to try to cover as much material as possible. So I hope that answers your question. If not, and you want to hit me up with an email to go in more detail, we could try to do that maybe tomorrow. Let's see, anyone else have any questions? Oh, there's a lot of people here. Let's scroll down here, make sure I don't lose my place. Let's see. Whoop, did I lose my place here? Hold on. Malcolm says arguing over which DAW is better sounding than the other is idiotic. Well, yeah, I mean, it's some people really think because they've been told or they've read that there is a big difference. And some people that are new to this craft don't know. And it's not their fault. They just don't know. And then there's other people who just clearly don't understand how it all works. You know, it's the same thing. I think I did this same kind of thing when I did an SSL plugin review. I forget which one. And someone, I got a whole bunch of comments telling me how it didn't sound exactly like the analog console. And I said, well, did you ever work on an analog console? And they said, no. I said, well, then how the hell would you know? You know what I mean? It doesn't sound exactly like this SSL console. It doesn't matter. Does it sound good or doesn't it sound good? Unless you have a plug-in in the room with the real hardware and you're A-Bing them back and forth, you're not going to know whether it sounds exactly the same. You know, and some people do that with DAWs too. They just, you know, some people are, you know, if you're a fanboy of a certain DAW and they feel really passionate about it, every other DAW is terrible and my DAW is the best, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people do that. But in the end, I tell everyone, doesn't matter what DAW you're using in the end. If you ask me which one do I prefer, I'll tell you what I prefer and why, but it doesn't mean it's head and shoulders better above anything else, because people make great records and hit records and make great music on every DAW. In the end, you can. Anyhow. Let's see. Excuse me. Blake says, I like Slate Trigger 2. Do I like Slate Trigger 2? Yes. Oh, you must be talking about the drum spot. No, Slate Trigger 2 is a sample replacement. Drums, if you're talking about the Audify plugin again, Blake, it's not the same thing. The Audify plugin, think of it as a channel strip. That's all it is. In kind of a fancy channel strip. Let's see. James says not like, there he goes. Let's see. First time here. Hey, what's up? Alfred, what's going on, brother? So when you become a member, do you get music files once a month and then everyone shares the mix for constructive credit? Okay, so the way it works is every month, and again, you can go to mixingmadeeasy.net and you can watch the video and read it all. It's all there, but I'll tell you what it is. So every month we mix a different song. You get the audio files, obviously the raw files, so you can mix the song along with me. You also get all the videos. I mix the song in real time from start to finish, and I break it into several video sections. So any month there can be anywhere from 2 hours worth of mixing to 4 or 5 hours worth of mixing, depending on the size of the session. You see it all in real time. I did not pre-mix the song more times than not, with the exception of listening to a very small section of the song so I know what the heck we're going to be doing that month. I don't listen to the stuff pre the recording. I don't. So I try to give you the feel of like you were sitting in the control room with me watching the mix and we were talking through it. And that's why it's anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a month worth of videos, because it takes that long to do it. And even that's an expedited time. To mix a song from start to finish with me not even talking to anyone trying to teach is 4 hours, right? So when you're stopping constantly and trying to teach and do it in real time, it could even take longer. But I try my best to try to expedite it, but still give you all the goodies and not gloss over anything. In addition to that, you also get what I call an overview video, which is a summary of that entire mix after the fact. So if you don't have 4 to 5 or 6 hours a month to watch all the videos and you just want to see a summary or a synopsis of the mix after it was done, where I walk you through all the basics and get you going in the right direction, you get that video as well. Okay. Once you've mixed the song, you're also then become a part of the members community where, yes, you can post your mix on our user forum and you can get feedback from folks. And we all kind of share ideas and stuff together, and the community is growing all the time. And then every month you can submit your mix to the mixing contest, which you kind of witnessed tonight, where I listen to all the mixes and I pick a handful and we do them live on the air here, and we kind of try to help and critique. And then we pick a winner and give them a free plugin. Not to mention, if you go on the website, because I want to bore everybody, and you look underneath the video and it shows you the membership packages, it shows you a whole list of freebies that you get with each one of those packages. So you get a ton of value. I mean, I think you do. And again, I'm biased, obviously. Ask the people that are here. So that's what it is. And what you'll find is, if you stick with it 2, 3, 4 months down the road, your mixes will, if you take the material and you follow it and you work with it, and you put the time in, your mixes will get vastly better in a very short amount of time, because we really try to get to the meat of the matter. in all these training videos that we're doing. So hopefully that answers your question. And it is something that, people really seem to enjoy, and it's working very well for a lot of people. Cool. So I hope that answers your question. If not, ask me something else and I'll try to answer it. Let's see. James says the Rock of Ages class is a good incentive for joining. Yeah. And then Alfred, what I do is, again, every so often I give away freebies. I just gave everyone a $50 training course for free, just because they're a member. I like to do those things. I don't do them every month. I mean, I gotta make a living, but I try to, my goal is to try to give you as much value for the membership packages start at $14.95 a month. And I try to give you, 50 times that in training and in content to try to help you. And that's my goal. And then we do a monthly call like this every month. Usually it's private. It's not open to the public, where only us members get together and we kind of go through things and we chat. And then I'm also here during the course of the month when guys send me emails and they need some help. I'm here. But go on the website, check it out. It's all laid out there for you. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you within a day and I'll help you with whatever you have. And hopefully you'll want to check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's see. Raymond says, bye all. Gotta go. All right, man. Thank you again. Raymond, once again, I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night. Let's see. James says, to the visitors, get some stems from a site, try to mix it, and then join us here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And again, a lot of the stem files and a lot of the songs that we do, I'd say about 50% of them, maybe 40, 50% are unique that you won't find anywhere else. And then there's other ones that that are publicly, got stems. And I have, because I don't have permission to give out private clients work very much. But when I do, I try to. But that doesn't always happen. Again, the song itself, is really, in the big scheme of things, is irrelevant. It really, really is. It really is. And again, in a way, it's kind of good if you saw a song that we mixed here, you might have mixed on another website 6 months ago. That's a good thing. You want to know why? Because now you can compare that mix to not only me, but those other teachers as well. And you can learn something from everyone if you were a member then. Not all these websites have the most exclusive, unique tracks. None of us do. And there's a reason for that. And a lot of it has to do with copyright and stuff, right? The industry is getting more serious about that, especially YouTube. It's crazy. And so, but my goal is to try to pick songs where there's lots of teachable moments and a very diverse kind of music from one month to the next. And again, I can't make everybody, right? I'm not going to make everybody happy, but I try to do the best I can in that respect. I don't want you to see the same exact thing month after month after month. There's overlap, certainly. There's always going to be some overlap, but there's enough diversity there from one month to the next. You're not going to see the same mix done the same way with the same plugins, the same kind of music every single month. We don't do that. But in a course of a year, are you going to see some of the same plugins? Of course. I don't have every plugin known to mankind. Are you going to see more than one country song a year? Yeah, you may see 2. Are you going to see 2 or 3 pop rock tracks? Yep. You're going to, but you're going to see every style of music at least once if I can get a hold of some decent multi-tracks. And then again, on top of that, I try to do the mix a little different every month. So one month I may do top-down mixing. The next month I might do all channel strips. The next month after that, I may only pick 1 or 2 different types of compressors or EQs. I mean, what I'm getting at is I really try to spread it around as much as I can. But there is some overlap there. It's never going to be a totally unique every single month. Everything's completely different. That's impossible. But I think I've done a pretty good job trying to mix it up. At least that's the feedback that I've gotten from you guys over the time. Okay, let's see. Malcolm. Okay, you guys are kind of chatting. Okay, I just saw Doug's question and I missed it. Where is it, Doug? I'll get you. Okay, Doug says, come on, 48 watching, only 5 likes. Why not click the thumbs up? Hey, man, thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah, click the thumbs up, Hey, if you're here and you're finding this helpful at all, do me a solid. Try to help. You're watching all this for free, right, man? So help me out any way you can help me. That'd be great. Let's see. James clicked the like button just for Doug. Thank you, James. Let's see. Milkman says, I just switched over to Studio One on this mix from Digital Performer. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dave, for compiling all the Studio One beginner guide videos. Oh man, no problem. And by the way, what you don't know, you may know, you wouldn't know, I don't think. The beginner's guide that I have on YouTube, there's a brand new, I have a couple of videos up there, but there's a 15 video beginner's guide course that's coming out next week on home recording made easy. It's $10. $10. And you're going to get 15 videos in it. And I'm going to be adding videos to it over the next several months at no charge. They'll be deposited into the course and you'll get notified when they come, because I've gotten so many, emails about, hey, thanks for the beginner's guide. Because I did one for version 3. There's like an 18 video playlist on YouTube, still there. It's free. And I got so much, good feedback from that. But the one thing that people were complaining about was, it's great that it's on YouTube, but I can't download it to my computer and have it. Is there any way you could put all the videos together so I could just download it? I don't need to depend on YouTube, and I want it all in one place. And so when they released version 4.5, I said, okay, I'll do another beginner's guide. It'll be a little bit different from the first one, but again, there's going to be some overlap because the program is the same, but there are a lot of unique features in version 4.5 that was not part of version 3, so those are in there. And I think I started with 15 videos, and it's coming out on Tuesday. And if you're on my email list, you'll get an email. You can go buy it. You'll see that there'll be more videos added to that course at no charge, and it'll be deposited in there over time. So that'll help for anyone that's new to Studio One, for sure. Okay. Let's see. James says, you need to tell me what I'm doing wrong. You must be talking to someone up there, James. That's okay. Blake says, gotta run, guys. Great coaching call. Blake, take care, my friend. Let's see. And Blake's one of our new members. He just joined about a week or so ago. So welcome again to the family, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Whoops. Let's see. Alfred says, sounds very cool. Thanks, Dave. Hey, you're welcome. No problem. Let's see. Milkman Blues. MME is a better investment than ever that I've ever made. I've learned a lot over the past 9 months. I love this site. Thank you so much. I'm glad it's helping you. And for anyone that's not a member, just read that statement and go try it. You can cancel at any time. There's no obligation. If you do sign up for a year, though, you end up, I think, getting 2 free months in the price if you want to sign up for the full year. But if you don't want to sign up for the full year, sign up for $14.95. You get 2 months worth of content, by the way, for people that are new. Whenever you go to the website, you not only get this month that we're mixing, but last month's content's also up there too. So whenever you're on the site, there are always 2 months worth of content. So you always have access to 2 months worth of stuff. So if you want to go try it, go try it. Pay for the first month, download the content. You don't like it, cancel it. Email them. You could do it right from your account. You could cancel it yourself, or just shoot me an email and I take good care of you. No problem. No hard feelings. And I appreciate you trying, that's cool. All right, let's see. Brian says, hello, everyone. I enjoyed the tips I learned here. Great, man. I'm glad that this was helpful. Again, we opened this to the public for the first time. We won't be doing this every month, but I wanted you guys to kind of see what mixingmadeeasy.net is all about. Bob says, David is awesome. Hey, man, thank you so much. And he's truly here for us and not trying to just make a buck. He can make money and not care about us, but he's a great guy, super knowledgeable. Hey, man, that's very kind of you. Thanks. And then I'm glad I really try to, I'm not just here trying to take your money. I'm here to make a living. This is my job, right? I'm not here to, we're all here. We all have to get paid. We all have to feed our family, but I really do try to give you an enormous amount of value, and I try to give you quality stuff as best I can. I'm not the best engineer and the best teacher in the world, but I have enough people that have signed up and buy my courses year over year that give me, hundreds and hundreds of reviews from people over the years. And so I must be doing something right for a lot of people. And so I really try to help. So I do appreciate those kind words. It really means a lot to me that not only you're a member here, but you're also part of the Home Recording Made Easy family, because without you guys, supporting what I do, I don't get to do this. So I'm very well aware that you guys are my bosses and I kind of work for you. I'm trying to provide you stuff that can really help you. And I know, at least the guys at Mixing Made Easy, I know you're getting better, because every month I hear these mixes, and they are we've only been doing this now, 7 months or 8 months? And the mixes are wildly better than they were 7 or 8 months ago. 7 months ago, when I would start listening to the mixes in January for the mixing contest, it was easy to find the winner. I mean, I listened to 150 of these things, and 90% of them were not great. And there was only a handful that were really good. Now you fast forward 6, 8 months later, and it's much more challenging to find the winner, and the winner is winning by a much smaller margin. I mean, out of all the mixes we listened to tonight, any one of those mixes could have won from 1 month to the next. They were all pretty good. I mean, when I'm in there, moving little EQ moves, I'm being picky because I think you want me to be that picky. Because if I just say, hey, it sounds great, you don't learn anything that way, right? So, yeah. So I'm hitting the target most times with you guys. All right, let's see. Milkman says he bought the Studio One Beginner's Guide. Oh, you might have seen it. It did get. You probably saw it on a Facebook ad or something that ran. There is a little bit of advertising, but no one on our email list, on my email list, has gotten that notification yet. But you probably did buy it because I did do a little bit of advertising on it. I threw the little lure into the water there to see if anybody would check it out. And so that's probably why. But it's going to be fully released next week. But you bought the right one. Okay. Brian says, I agree. I'm going to join. All right, man. Great. Go sign up. You have any problems, let me know. You can use PayPal, use a major credit card, whatever you want. And again, I tell people again, because it's only open, we got 25 people here. It's only open to the public this one time. So, like I tell folks, again, you could try it, cancel it within a month if you want to. But what I would urge you to do is to stick around for 2, 3, 4 months. Give it some time for a couple of reasons. One, because what you're going to find is the content is involved. And if you have a life and a job and a family, like most people do, you don't always have, 5-6 hour blocks to sit down and consume all this material every single month. Some months, some guys get busy with life. Hey, we all do. And maybe they only watch the overview video that much. Maybe they didn't get as much out of the content that month as they would have liked to because they just didn't have the time. But the beauty is you download it all to your computer. You have it forever. This is not something that we stream on the website that once you missed that month, you missed it, it's gone forever. I could have very easily did that. I says, no, I want you guys to have the content. So you download it. You download July. What were we in? July. So you have June and July up there right now. If you join today, download it. If you don't get to June for 3 or 4 months, so what? You have the material there. Don't worry about it. You'll get to it, right? So give yourself a few months. Really work the program before you decide it's not going to work for you. Unless you watch the videos and go, I can't learn from this guy. He's a terrible teacher. I don't like his style. Then that's totally cool too. Cancel right away. But don't let, the lack of maybe some time or you think, oh God, this is a lot. I feel a little overwhelmed. Give it a couple of months. If you stick with it, I promise you, your mixes will get way, way better. I promise you they will, because we're all here to help you. That's what we're here for. So enough said on that. Okay, any more questions? We've been on here, about an hour and a half. We've stayed a little longer than I normally do because we have all these new folks here that are checking us out. And I hope everyone found this helpful. And I hope you guys are enjoying the mix that you guys are working on this month, which is kind of a pop rock song, which is a lot of fun. I'm interested to hear you guys' mixes later in this month. And what else? Yeah, don't forget about, again, I'm going to go back to the screen here. Don't forget about the 4th of July, 50% off. All the mixing made easy, all the home recording made easy courses are all 50% off if you use the nice coupon code. Let's see, what is it? It is July 4th. Yeah, July 4th 50. That's your coupon code at checkout. You get 50% off. That's only going to run through about tomorrow afternoon, and then it's going to go away. So you may want to go check that out if you want some more training. And also, if you're a member of mixingmadeeasy.net, when things are not on sale at Home Recording Made Easy, you always get 25% off all my training courses, all of them. They're all in the store. So not only do you get, all the training content, but you can buy everything at 25% off. So that's another benefit. Okay, let's see. Brian says, correct. I started this profession, in 1985. Wow, with my old band. Straight out of the Navy, and we work strictly analog. Life happened, and I'm here new to how we record now. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's far different than analog, but we use we kind of have to do a hybrid. The plugins today we kind of mimic the analog kind of thing. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're getting back into it. That's awesome. Thank you for serving, by the way. And yeah, that's great, man. We're here to help. Between Mixing Made Easy to help you mix, and between Home Recording Made Easy with all the other stuff we got going on. Believe me, you're in the right ecosystem of people. Between me and all my followers and students, we can help you get up to snuff on where you want to get now that you're jumping back into it. Have no fear. We're here for you. All right. Yeah, James says, yeah, we're more about mixing than recording here at Mixing Made Easy. But if you want recording stuff, homerecordingmadeeasy.com, ton of courses on there. But this mixingmadeeasy.net is really about mixing. We're not really about recording, but we can still help. So cool. So any other questions? We got anything else? What do we got? 21 people, 20 people. People are starting to bow out now, and that's cool. Totally fine. Again, for our members here, this will be up on the website probably tomorrow sometime under the coaching call section. So if you came in late, you'll be able to watch it again. It'll be up on the website for you to check out. And again, Andrew, congratulations on the mixing contest. I don't think he was here tonight. Hit me up when you see this, and I will send you the license for the plugin that you won by Audify, the Drum Spot. Tone Spot Drum Pro. There we go. All right, man. So again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of you as usual. And I will see you guys over in the forum, and I'll see you guys next month for the next mixing coaching call. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya. Thanks again.